back, guys. We are back. Not I'm back. There's no females in this room this time, is there?
There's no I in team either.
There is no I in team. Don't you forget about that. There's no I in team in the USS Russell. It looks like dog, but it isn't. It's DDG, apparently. A parody. But we're here because we're giving you a little bit more. And I know there hasn't been a Six String Bliss episode yet, but there will be because it's almost October. But I want to talk about...
Is this like a prequel?
This is like a prequel. This is for the people because the episodes have gone monthly. They used to be weekly, so now we've got to wait too long. So we need members of the community to really pull together and give us some type of entertainment in between.
I am a member of the community.
Member of the community right here. He plays the guitar. So, and I want to talk about two important subjects. One of them is really important, and another one, I'm sure a lot of musicians can relate to this, due to how naive the general public are. What do you think? Is that really what we're going to talk about here?
They are generally naive.
They're
yes.
naive. If you're not a musician or not really into music, you would generally be very naive with this. But first things first, I'm going to talk about Australia. Now, everyone out there has heard me have a good cry and moan about how expensive Australian instruments are. Australia and Tasmania.
Yeah, Tassie, yes.
So, everyone's heard me cry and whinge about that.
You can do a love heart as well. I do love heart.
You can do a love heart if you love Australia, and you should love Australia. It's a very expensive country to live in, but hey, streets are clean. So,
not that fucking place.
Oh, they are compared to other places, that's right. In these type of in-between little episodes you'll get from my video responses, I'm not going to hold back with language, profanity, or anything like that. And the rookie.
That's because I'm a bad influence.
He's a bad influence.
Nothing to do with him.
I don't normally cuss or swear, but when I'm around him, it's game changer. Complete game changer.
Shit changes.
Shit changes. But anyway, so you guys know that I have a cry about how much instruments cost, accessories in Australia, musical instruments, and so forth. So what I want to talk about here. So, for example, here's a modern Boss power supply for pedals.
Are you allowed to mention brands?
I don't give a fuck.
The fuck was that?
Maybe I shouldn't swear. So here it is, yeah. The proof is in the pudding. I don't know if that'll focus.
Autofocus, go!
Autofocus. Autofocus. Hey! So yeah, this is it. Now this was at a discounted price of $50. Right, $50, which I purchased from Alan's Billy Hyde Music. Now, in America...
$19.99.
What on earth is
the fuck is that?
We're getting attacked! We're getting attacked open condom style!
Is it aliens?
Oh. JC, please.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got this. If anyone wants to know what this...
I got a little bit too close that had to refocus.
A little blurry there. Anyone knows...
Little spirit fingers.
So, if anyone wants to know what this stupid thing is on the end of it, they're basically just two chokes, which is it's the same as an inductor or anything. You've got a core and you've got wire you wrap around.
Find it in a carburetor.
In a carburetor. That's right. You've got to give it some choke, push in a bit of oil, you know, so it starts better when it's cold. That's it. There's two in here and they go into each other, and that's what stops your hum and that sort of thing. That's all it is. You can make these yourself easy. You don't even need to use chokes. There's a real easy and cheap way to do it for any type of dodgy power supply. But anyway, I got this because...
And if anyone knows easy and cheap, it's him.
It's me. I got this because I wanted to know what the real one was like.
That's how he likes his women.
Well, there's another story behind this in a minute. But anyway, $50 in Australia, $19.95 in the US. Go figure, right? Normally $60 in Australia.
$19.99.
Sorry, $19.90 of the night.
The 4 cents makes a difference.
Mm. Of course, we're drinking too while we do this. It's the middle of the day too when we're drinking. But anyway, I'm going to talk about...
It's 11 AM, everyone.
In the AM. Yeah, that's why there's so much light. So...
It's 11 AM, I must be lonely. Oh no, wait, wrong song.
Sorry. Wrong song? Right song?
Yeah.
Anyway,
do continue.
Gundam style. So, what I'm talking about is... Alan's Billy Hyde's, they're an iconic music store in Australia. They've got heaps and heaps of music stores all around the country.
Not for long.
Not for long. Now, they're a big retailer, so their prices aren't all that cheap, but they're huge. They, you walk into a Billy Hyde's, most of them, they've got various levels guitars everywhere, drums, recording gear, bass, whatever you want. You know, it's just guitars, guitars, guitars. And they don't mind if you touch them. Like, you want to pick up something and play it, even if you want to pick up $4,000 guitars, $5,000 guitars, they don't care. You know, it's quite rare you'll see.
Because their $4,000 guitars are actually $1,500 guitars, just with a massive fucking disgusting markup.
Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck is that? I don't have my phone ringing.
Well, let's just see what that is. There's nothing there.
Hey,
Door-to-door salesman trying to
what's happening?
do that sort of stuff. What's going
on? Nothing, just the outfits. What time?
Okay. So Allen's and Billy Heights, they've been around for donkey's years, I believe the correct terminology is that, for a donkey's year. And yeah, huge store, they let you pick up these guitars. You know, they don't seem to mind. Staff, it's a bit hit and miss. Sometimes you get some guys that are alright, sometimes you get absolute deadbeats that you wonder why they hired them or why they've still got their jobs. And but generally it's a big retailer, so there's not a, it's not like going into a normal like little, what you call mom and pop music store where you get a lot of customer service and you get a friendly greeting and that sort of thing. It's pretty much you go in, everyone ignores you, and then they try to bull crap and bullshit you with everything. But they're big stores. They sell a lot of brands as well that the little stores don't, and things like strings were cheaper, and little things like that are cheaper to get there from those places. However, recently noted is that they have just gone into receivership, and they're not going to honour any gift vouchers, lay-bys, any other type of contractual funds that you may have put down for instruments and that sort of thing. They're completely telling you to go fuck yourself. You know, we're not going to honour money that you have physically given us. No, go fuck yourself, because we don't care, because that's what corporations do. What do you think about that, Rook? Do you think that's fair? Do you think if someone, you know, if you owe someone money, like what the fuck, man?
It's pretty shit. Like, yeah, you've paid for a gift voucher, it should be honoured. You've put money on a lay-by, it should be honoured. Or fuck it, at least refunded.
Tell them about your experience with another company that went into
receivership. Another company which I pre-ordered items through, who then went into receivership, and I didn't see any of that money back. And I was told that that actual company was still taking pre-orders for items after they had already gone into liquidation.
Well, exactly. That's what. No, I worked for a company before that went into receivership, and when I had the job there for about 2 years, we knew that it was going to happen. You can tell. You're not. No, people in those positions, in higher positions, aren't idiots. Well, maybe they are because they went into receivership. But you know it's going to happen. Yet they still try to operate properly. It's like they've got this stupid pride about themselves. It's like small companies that try to get really big. And another example is My Music. You remember My Music?
I do remember My Music.
In Penrith?
Yeah.
My Music was a nice little store, and whatever you wanted to order, you just go in there and they'll do whatever they can to get it. Really friendly people. The store was packed though. You walk in there, you can barely move. It's absolutely packed with gear, a lot of guitars.
Yeah.
However, they were friendly, they were timely when you ordered things, they always called you back. And they were really reasonably priced, like really good price. So they decided to open up another store. They bought this huge place. It was massive.
Yeah.
Guitars.
It was the My Music Superstore.
Megastore.
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 Right.
Yeah, and it was huge. There was a lot of parking and everything. And you go in there, and they didn't care if you touched the guitars, whatever you wanted to do. They held clinics there. They had like master classes, did lessons and that sort of thing. But they got too big for themselves, and they started hiring any idiots. You didn't get the customer experience. You got little kids that had no idea because they were cheap labour. You had people bullshitting. You know, we went in there when you wanted to learn bass, and we had that wanker come up to us and say, you know, this has got the same wood made out of the, you know, $5,000. He said $5,000 Fender Stratocaster. There aren't too many of those for $5 grand, but I was like, come on, buddy. There's no need to bullshit that much just because we went in there and said we want a beginner bass package. And then we picked up, it was a Chili Willy's book, and I started playing a bit of bass. And he kind of, God, it was so funny. He turned around to say something. I was like, so you were going to say something? He goes, oh, so you know about guitars? Like, yeah. I said, how about you leave your bullshit over there and I'll just help myself. So, yeah, it's guys like that. For fuck's sake, like, what type of sales training is that? You know what I mean? But anyway, My Music became too big for them to handle. And they went under. They went bust. They went bust. And it's no one's fault but their own.
It's true.
Just because you have a dream doesn't mean that you can fulfill it. You have to be realistic about things. Just because you're hung like a moose doesn't mean you have to do porn. You know? It'd be nice to.
I'd like,
you know.
Hey, I'd like to do porn.
Yeah. I'm not hung like a moose, that's why I don't do porn, but if I was, it doesn't mean you have to go out there and be a porn star. No, it doesn't. So...
But I want to be.
I know you want to be. I've been trying to get you into that, but you don't want to take the small baby steps, you want to go straight to the top, and I can't get you straight to the top.
Because the baby steps involve doing videos with dudes.
That's what you have to do. If you want to get into the industry, if you want to be known straight away, if you want to excel quickly, then I can make that happen for you. I can make that happen for you. You want to make $5,000 a day? You want to do that? I can do that for you.
I don't get naked in front of dudes.
You get naked in front of me?
No, I don't. Anyway. Please continue with your rant.
So what I'm saying is they got too big. Billy Hides were a bit the same, but they had to be doing something right because they had stores all over Australia, quite a lot of stores, and they were still going. But they're in debt $40 million. Now, they're not offering any type of ownership to prepaid for gear. They've laid off half of their staff who are not entitled to any of their benefits. And in Australia, that's what it's really big on, benefits. You get a job, you're full-time, you get your holiday pay, you get superannuation, you get your sick leave, there's heaps of different types of leave you can get. By law, you have to get these things. So by law, shouldn't these people have to pay you for what you're entitled to if they lay you off just like that? You know, honour what you're going to do. If I borrow $5 off the rookie here, I can't just tell him, oh, you know what, I've gone bust, sorry buddy. No, I still owe him $5.
Yeah, but it's taken over by another company when it goes into receivership.
So if another company, if I say, oh no, sorry, you're going to have to see this guy because he owed me $5 before, so you go see him.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not the right thing to do. That's morally wrong. It's just wrong in general. Not how the world should work. So
it unfortunately is though.
However, there's a lot of articles written about Alan's Billy Hides. Now they used to be two separate stores, Alan's Music, Billy Hyde Music. They merged with an Australian music group, AMG, not Mercedes. And they're also, I believe, they're linked with Australis Music, who does most of the importing. I spoke to a few guys that used to work there, and they said it was a terrible place to work for, and they were glad they got out, but everyone needs a job. So, what I am saying is that people, Billy Hides, Alan's Music, whatever you want to call them, are complaining. They were saying that one of the biggest factors is that people buy a lot of gear off the internet these days. Now that's true, because I buy a lot of gear off the internet these days. You know why? Because I don't want to waste money. I work fucking hard for my money that I earned. What, you think I get all this from like, you know, not being careful with money and saying, you know what, I'll buy it here because I can save money and use the other stuff to eat and have food and pay bills. You know,
I like food.
Food's awesome.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit famished. So, they're saying one of the major contributing factors is people are buying things like overseas. They're saying eBay has killed their places. But I'm saying bullshit to that because you've got places like Pro Guitar Shop who, what do? They don't just say the internet's going to ruin the place. No, they put on fantastic demos, video demos out there. They flood the all types of media on the internet. They're on Facebook, YouTube. I think they're still on GaySpace. They're out there pushing whatever they can. Any media.
Does MySpace still exist?
Yeah, it does. It's got a new revamp.
Really?
It's a bit different to what it used to be.
Oh. Cool.
But yeah, so what you have to do is, as things change in the world, you have to change with them. That's like saying, you know, I don't like computers, so I'm just not going to go with it. Well, if you don't go with that as a business, you'll never progress. You're not going to successfully move forward. Now, Billy Hides, Alan's Music had a terrible website. You can still look at it. It's shocking. It's never up to date. You can't find what you're looking for. It doesn't load properly half the times as well, no matter what device you're on. And it's just absolute rubbish. There's zero customer experience that makes you want to go back to the place. They're very expensive. And what they're claiming is, get this is one of the big things that one of the guys, I don't know, whoever's high up there said, when people buy musical instruments, it's the consumer's fault that Billy Hides, Alan's Music is going under. It's the consumer's fault because they pay their staff premium wages with benefits, like we were talking about. Therefore, the prices of their instruments have to be higher. Have to be. And as a consumer, you should take that into consideration. So I should say to myself, you know what? I don't have a disposable income, but if I want to buy this guitar, I should pay an extra $1,000 at this music store because I know they pay their staff a lot. And that's a good enough reason for me to say, I'm going to spend my money there. No, fuck that. Because what's that going to say? That's like saying, you know, don't buy your Chevrolet because it's cheap. Go out there and buy a Mercedes. Because you know that the Mercedes salesman, they get a big commission and they get paid more. And it's your obligation for anyone that gets paid more to pay more for a product that you can get cheaper. It's your obligation. Fuck that. And that's a bullshit, stupid excuse. And that just goes to show the type of people that were running the company. They ran the place into the ground. They didn't move on with technology and advances in the type of business they were in, type of retail business they were in. And now, I don't like to see anyone lose their jobs. But I do like to see big companies fall to shit. Because they lose the passion. They don't give a shit about consumers. They don't care about the products they're selling. And they treat you like rubbish. One of the biggest things, what's wrong with it? They're a big retail that got too big for their bridges, right?
They did.
They showed a lot of poor customer service. A lot of the nice brands and boutique stuff you couldn't get through them that everyone wants. You know, you just couldn't get it. There are a lot of things that I wanted that I couldn't get. I can't even get Black Star through those idiots. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then they got the high to put prices up. But one thing is, I've got this rack unit vocal strip in front of me. Now, it's a cheap strip. It was only $200, and it was the cheapest one I could find. And I had it in their catalogue. I went in there, I wanted to buy one, they said they didn't have any, so can I order one? 9 months later, it came in. And then they said to me, oh, because it's 9 months later, the price has gone up. The price has gone down by $10. I waited 9 months.
That's pretty fucked.
That's pretty fucked, yeah. I waited 9 months. Like, they were nice enough to keep ringing me like every 3 months to say this has happened. You know, and I put down a deposit. I put down $100 on this. They said I couldn't get my money back, but I could get a store credit. What the fuck? So I stuck with it and I paid for it. I paid the extra $10. But 9 months? 9 months is completely unacceptable.
I wouldn't have paid it out of principle.
Yeah. I couldn't be bothered getting into an argument with these idiots. You know what musicians are like. They're good at one thing, shit at everything else. So I just couldn't.
Some motherfucker.
Yeah, I was pissed off. But, you know, and people don't take me seriously because I look young and that sort of thing. But I've always had some decent paying jobs and I bet I earn more money than those fucking makers and have more assets than them. So shouldn't I be looking down on them? But I don't. I give everyone the time of day and respect that they deserve. Because people are people. But that was terrible. And I spoke to a lot of people that have had the same experiences with the place. So if they ever wonder why they went bust, this is the reason. You can't blame the internet. You can't blame internet sales. You can't blame other factors that are supposedly out of your control. Just blame yourself for not putting in enough effort for the business that you want to build yourself. That's what it comes down to. Go with the times, move along with it, or get the fuck out. But don't blame blame other people, blame consumers, and treat your staff like rubbish who will reflect on everywhere else, because it all comes from the top. If you have a shit boss, you'll be a shit employee. And that's what it is. End of story.
Word.
If you don't have pride, if your boss doesn't have pride in their job and what they do, you're not going to have pride in anything that you do for that company. And that's what it comes down to. So I'm not blaming any of the staff there. I'm blaming the upper management for running the place like rubbish. Because you know, if you're going to go into receivership, you're in debt $40 million and you're still taking people's money for lay-bys, you're still taking people's money for that type of thing, you know, you're a very low individual. Would you say the same, Rookie?
I would, but yeah, they're just trying to make what they can while they can.
While they can, yeah, and they just didn't do it right. Like I said, it pains me to see so many 250 people lose their job in one day, and then the other 250 people are going to lose their jobs as well. At the end of the day, it wasn't a great music store, but the biggest problem now is there aren't very many music stores in Australia, so prices could just skyrocket as well. And not having Billy Hyde, now they did a lot with advertising, they did TV commercials, a lot of brochures, they did a lot of clinics, that sort of thing. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, this is advertising for Alan's Music, Billy Hyde's, but it's not just for them, it's advertising for instruments in general, because Australia isn't as big on that, you know. So that's also advertising for the other music stores. So they did a lot for everyone. I just wish that the attitude from the top was better, you know, and they just did things properly. You know, you've got to move with the times, but I just keep repeating myself here. So that's my rant about them. It's a terrible thing. The fact they're not honouring people who have paid money is just pathetic, in my opinion. But we better stop, or I'll keep going on about this for a long time. Oh, but last thing is, okay, here's a good example. I bought this off eBay, not because I wanted this modern switch mode power supply thing, because I don't like the way it works with like clock-based effects and the ticking and all that sort of thing. I wanted the original Boss, big chunky transformer power supply. Found on eBay, Allen's Billy Hides, paid for it. No contact with them. I tried to pay with PayPal, I couldn't. I got an email saying do a bank transfer, so I did the bank transfer, sent them the receipt and everything, so I paid. Please let me know when you can post it. They said post in 48 hours. It wasn't. I sent them 3 emails in the space of 3 weeks, no contact whatsoever. I called the store, got the runaround by everyone. Nobody wanted to talk to me. They just kept saying, oh, call this person, call this person. They wouldn't put me through to the people. They just tried to keep giving me phone numbers, which basically ended up in this loop. In this spiral loop. If I want a loop pedal, I'll buy a fucking loop pedal. So they sent me the wrong power supply because I called and I started complaining, and I started complaining a lot. Tiff's the only one that can get away with that. Can you just come back up here, please? No, I'm trying to, this desk isn't bolted down, so there you go. Mini Rook. So I got the wrong product. I asked about it, I got ignored. But the only reason I got my product after almost 4 weeks is because I kept calling, I kept writing them emails. I wrote an email to eBay as well. eBay looked into it for me. And it wasn't through PayPal, so I couldn't do a dispute and get my money back. But why? Why is there no communication? Why is it half-assed? It's because there's probably upper management just gave another person that's already got a lot of responsibility, like they do in corporations, to say, hey, from now on, you're looking after the eBay account. It's one person. This person's flooded with work. They don't have time to get back to people. You know, they did what they did. They sold it and everything. Someone else down the line didn't ship it out. They gave me the wrong product. Even on the receipt, it said that product. You just come back into the shop and just get off your phone? But my point is, poor customer service, no communication, incorrect product, rip-off prices, but I was prepared to pay that to get that vintage Boss power supply. And just overall a bad experience with this music store. And it's because of experiences like that, I believe, is why they went under, because they just couldn't be bothered, just half-assed and lazy. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So, on to the next topic. You have to be in for this. Come on. Oh, well then you piss and we'll come back to this. Alright. The rookie's back, and we're going to talk about topic number 2, the last topic of the morning here. So what I'm going to talk about is getting gigs for people that don't know what they're talking about, who want to hire you. So last night, what was it? About 11:30 last night, maybe 12? I got a text message from an old school friend, who wants to get married for the second time around. And all the messages said was, please call me when you can. I'd like to give you some work, whatever. So in the morning,
lots of love,
the gods. So I got up in the morning and I kind of forgot about it. Then I looked at my phone, like, oh yeah. So I gave him a call. So this guy's getting married, and he said to me, he goes, "Oh, you play guitar, right?" I was like, yeah, I play guitar. And he's like, "Oh," he goes, "I need someone to play at my wedding." So okay, like what do you mean? Like how long? What kind of music and so forth? So I don't really play gigs and that sort of thing, but your wedding's like a year away. I said it's a year away. I can put together a repertoire or whatever, get a couple more, if I have to hire some more musicians, that sort of thing. He goes, "Oh, I want someone to play flamenco guitar." I said, flamenco guitar? I said, okay, for one, I don't have a flamenco guitar. I don't know how to play Spanish guitar. And he goes, oh, but isn't it just all the same? I said, no, so I play metal, I play rock. He goes, oh, but can't you just do it? I said, I don't know, maybe in 10 years if I start practicing now, I could probably do it. And he couldn't get it around his head.
Start fucking practicing.
Yeah, well, can he postpone the wedding, 10-year engagement? So, and at that point, then he told me that he wanted to hire someone that was on a show, X Factor, which I'm sure you guys get in the States. I don't know, it's probably in Britain and Australia. But he tried to get someone that was on there, and they want to charge $4,000 for the night. They were going to bring a couple more musicians, all the PA gear and everything, play a set, 4 hours, 5 hours, that sort of thing. That's pretty reasonable, you know. So he was like, $4,000. He goes, I don't even want to pay someone $500. Like $500 to play for 4 or 5 hours? You're bloody kidding. So do you have to remember, you're hiring the PA gear off them, you're hiring all the other gear. It may be more than one musician. They need breaks, they need everything else. They need a proper place to go to, you need to make sure there's power there. Probably they could even need a stage. And he said, I didn't even think about all that stuff. Of course you didn't think about all that stuff, because you're an idiot. You're an idiot like most people that try to hire musicians that aren't musicians or not into music. But what do you think about that, Rookie? What do you think about these people that they say, I want everything for nothing, is what they're basically saying. You know, they don't understand.
They don't understand. That's half their problem.
See, but you know what the worst part is? Like, for half the conversation, he in his mind, he thought that I was going to do this for him. Even though I said, I don't play that type of music. I can't play that type of music, and I'm not interested in playing in your wedding. He's like, oh, but you must know a few musicians. Can you send them my way? Why would I want to send musicians to someone's... Why would I want to put them in that position? They're going to have to argue with somebody to get paid decently. They're going to have a shit place to play, no support, probably no electricity for all they know. You know what I mean? They're going to have to provide their own PA equipment as well. You know what I mean? Like, my argument here is, it's your one special day, or in his case, second special day. You would spend so much money on an engagement ring. You're spending so much money on the rest of the things for this wedding. Flowers and everything. Flowers, what the fuck? But you don't want to spend money on real live musicians. Good music to accommodate this special day. Why would you skimp on that little thing? That's as important as the rest of the wedding. Now, do you want to turn your wedding into shit? Do you?
No.
No.
I don't have a wedding.
That's right. I mean, people are idiots. They really are.
People just don't understand. People are ignorant.
People are ignorant. But what the worst part is, they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to look into it. They're too damn lazy to do it. Just how hard would it be to just look on the internet, type in a simple Bing search, and
Bing the shit out of it.
Bing the shit out of it. Simple Bing search just to say, you know, roughly how much does it cost to hire people for performances, for that type of thing. What do you need for that performance? And I guess if you've never played an instrument like he hasn't, then you probably wouldn't know that type of stuff. But it's a wedding. Put effort into it. Well, what's the point? What's the point of having the wedding? Just go to some dodgy chapel and sign a paper for $50 and call it a day.
Get married by Elvis.
Elvis, man. I'd love to get married by Elvis. I'd be in the dress, of course.
You just want to marry Elvis.
Yeah, maybe I do. So that is my argument. They're my two rants. Hopefully you guys found this entertaining. Hopefully the rookie here...
I didn't find it entertaining.
You don't find anything entertaining?
I was forced into this, against my will.
I'm not holding a gun to your head. I'm not holding my wang to your head.
Not now.
Not now, I'm not.
Not anymore. After I fucking said yes.
Yeah, but earlier.
Yeah.
So is there anything you'd like to rant about to the people? Just think anything at all before we close out the show.
I just want a nap.
You always want a nap. Oh yeah, it's approaching 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course it's nap time for you.
That's it.
Yeah. So, alright guys, well that's the end of this episode for you guys there. Hopefully I didn't offend too many people, but if I did, life's like that. Life's shit. So, what do you think about that? Don't like it, don't watch it. Same thing, if I don't want to buy things from...
offended for?
Yeah, if I don't want to buy things from Alan's Music, Billy Hyde's, I won't buy things from there. I did go in there the other day. You keep pointing while I talk. Can you do the gestures? Can you do the hand gestures while I talk? So I went in there the other day because they got a sale. It said 25 to 50% off everything. But you know what? It's not that cheap because their prices are high anyway. I can go to any place and get that discount. So guys, anyway, catch you next time.